Hi guys, James here, thanks for coming to watch, and today I wanted to introduce to you some of my favourite YouTube guitar personalities, guitarists, whatever you'd like to call them. Some of these you might have heard of, I'm sure you will have actually, some of them you may not have. And let's actually start with a guy that's actually on my homepage right now, and he is a young guy who I think has a big future. I've seen his subscribership go up pretty quickly. I think he had a sort of turning point video just over a year ago where he bought a certain vintage guitar and it sort of piqued a lot of interest in his channel. And he does have great vintage guitar content. There's often new guitars to look at, and he's very passionate about it. He's very down to earth. He's definitely an old soul, and you know, that's all well and good, but the reason I like to watch his channel is just his fantastic playing. Now, I can see he's got a band or something. I'm not sure if he's a pro or not, but he just plays incredibly well. If you watch Happy Birthday Stevie Ray Vaughan, or if you watch Stratocaster Acrobatics, actually there's a few more. I mean, at the beginning or end of every video he plays something, and it's always just brilliant. When Bill Withers died, he did Ain't No Sunshine, he did his own version. Just often there's something to learn or just something great to hear with his videos, and I think this is the sort of channel that, you know, should have more viewers, more attention, and I'm trying to learn off of the way he plays. It's got a raw sound in a good way. You know, he really just cranks the amp. There's not a lot of tech going on here. I'm not sure how he even records it. It's not the best quality sound, but it's great. I particularly like one, if I can find it quickly here. I bought another Behemoth Fender amp. You see this massive stack here that he's sitting next to. It's unbelievable. It's so loud. I hope he's wearing some ear defenders, but he's not. Yeah, so he does things like that. Why did Fender make this Behemoth? You know, another great video about that huge amp. I really enjoyed one he did about, I think he was cranking a little tweed amp. Just the tone he gets and the way he plays. Go and give him a watch. I think you'll probably get a sort of binge session going watching him, and you might learn something about his playing. And I think anyone could benefit from that. So yeah, a young guy with a big future, I hope. Next will be no surprise to people who've seen a few of my videos. I often mention the guy, Josh Smith, one of the greatest living guitarists that I know of, certainly virtuosic. He has his own style, which fascinates me, and there's one video to start with, which is, let's see if we can find it. Josh Smith Blues Fusion Guitar Masterclass. This is the first time I saw him, and he talks and he plays and he makes a lot of sense, and that's the way he is in all his videos. Not that he has a channel, but you see him often on Guitarist, All Guitar Network, or Guitar, or Premier Guitar. He's been on That Pedal Show. I think he's been interviewed on Anderton's, which is really cool. He's a working musician. He is very certain of what he likes, and you know, sometimes you can either learn a lot from someone who's very focused on one way of doing something, or you can learn from someone who's been around a lot and knows lots of things. Josh Smith is a telly guy. He plays the Telecaster better than anyone I've seen. He gets the best sound out of it, and he knows what he's doing, and he will share that information. He's not the easiest to understand in the sense of how quick he goes through. I've had to watch this Blues Fusion Guitar Masterclass so many times, and I still don't understand much of it or how he's doing what he's doing. So, but you know, he shouldn't have to give away his secrets, and he's giving them, but only for the people who are ready to hear them. But you'll learn something if you go and watch him. Kirk Fletcher. He sort of seems to have come about at the same time. He's I don't know if he's worked with other musicians. I think he has been almost like a backing guitarist, session guitarist, but he's got some solo albums, and I like his old style of blues. Whereas Josh Smith is pushing things forward and doing it differently, Kirk Fletcher is modern day king of the slow blues, as someone else here has written. I've not actually seen that video, but I can well believe it. He has that old soul about him he's a blues guy, you know? He's nothing complicated in that way. You know, lots of lovely licks, and he's just having fun. He's often smiling. He's just easy to watch. Really nice guy, and he's happy to talk about gear and how he gets his sound, and he'll show you his pedals and his guitar and things like that. And actually, I know a guy who has made some guitars for Kirk Fletcher and Josh Smith, as well as Ariel Posen, who I'm going to meet soon, maybe have a little chat with. And he says that these are the loveliest guys, and he's been with them when they played in his workshop. And he says the way they can go from extremely quiet to absolutely blistering is just on another level. Kirk Fletcher and Josh Smith especially, I think. Next, Dan Patlansky. He's a South African blues guitarist who has released a great album, I think. Really shows off his playing well. You can see the cover of it here. The first video I watched him was Killer Strat Tone Tips and Monster Playing. Just listen to the intro, the 20 seconds where he plays at the beginning. Oh my god. You will put it on 1/4 speed and I guarantee you'll be trying to learn it. It's killer. It's awesome. I've been trying to learn it. I've learned a few things off of this video, and in fact it inspired me to get my Strat worked on, to change a few things about it. The pickups, I wanted hotter pickups, I wanted thicker fret wires and everything. And really this guy was the reason. He's you know, so many guitarists, blues guitarists, are influenced by Stevie Ray Vaughan, and he definitely is, but he's definitely got his own style. It's just got a sort of similar aspect to it that Stevie Ray does. So I think you'll enjoy anything with Dan Patlansky. Go and watch some of his old live stuff. He is a brilliant guitarist, and a really nice guy, and he's on Anderton's as well. He on his own channel, I'm not sure if he does anything other than put music videos, but go and check it out. Okay, so this is a name I'm sure you must know, Gerry Landreth. But what I like about Gerry Landreth is he is very open to talk, unlike our next person that we're going to look at. Gerry Landreth is a great young guitarist with an old soul. I think that was what I see a lot in these young guys, is they're clearly got something of the old-fashioned about them, which is great to see. And he plays really well slide. He plays really well without slide. He's plays 2 rock amps, which I love. He's not a player who I want to emulate completely in his style, but it's just a bit of a spectacle and awe-inspiring to see him play the way he does, and he's totally got his own thing. And I love his custom-made, it's not a Gibson, his custom-made gold top made by someone he knows. It's a beautiful guitar, one of the more beautiful gold tops I've seen. But yeah, check out his stuff. I don't really like the brothers Landreth's music, as in their output through like on their albums. It's not my type of music, but I can really respect the musicianship. But yeah, the guy I was talking about, go away Siri. The guy I was talking about, Tom Bukovac, who's next. Now, I first caught him on a rig rundown from Premier Guitar, and I thought, here's a guy who really, really, really knows what he's talking about. He has been a session guitarist for a long time. I think his nickname is the Session Man. You know, he's been around. He lives in Nashville. His wife is a musician, and he's just one of those fantastic players. He's just one of those fantastic players. Sorry, I just noticed my Zoom recorder hasn't got an SD card in, so I'm only recording through a little speaker, microphone on my guitar, but hopefully it's not too much of a problem. Let's hope that's been working. Going back to Tom Bukovac, yeah, he's married to a singer in Nashville, and so he's a full sort of musical background. What do I like about him? His attitude more than anything, but also he's just no nonsense. So recently, during this whole episode of the world's history, he started this thing called homeschooling. It's an almost daily vlog, and every day has something. He plays something different, and then he talks. And sometimes he talks, just talks, and sometimes he has a real point to make. But whatever he says is full of little gems that you can learn from. He has so many different guitars as well. It's almost like a guitar a day. But what I found interesting on Premier Guitar's rig rundown was that he wasn't that keen to speak really about the gear. He obviously loves gear because he's got loads of it, but he's like, you don't need to talk about the gear, you know, enjoy it. But for him, maybe it's a tool, you know, he's a session guitarist. I don't know if you get videos of carpenters talking about their chisels. You know, for him, he's there to create music and he does it wonderfully. And, you know, occasionally he slips and he gets a bit gooey-eyed about a guitar that he's playing, and that's cool. I like that. But he doesn't care. I think he's just got an iPhone in front of him in a messy garage. Sound quality's okay, nothing wrong with it, but not fantastic. But you go and watch him. He's the most consummate player. Probably the best on this list, really, when you watch him. Very musical. Everything he does has meaning to it. It has a structure, musical structure, which is something I would love one day to have a part of in myself. But yeah, before the recent sort of thing where he started doing this series, he was a bit of an enigma on YouTube from what I can tell. He'd released a couple of videos a long time ago of him just playing something bad quality, sort of on a bad quality old camera. But, you know, he's a working musician. He didn't have time for YouTube. Well, he's now built this up to 35,000 subscribers nearly very quickly, I think. Most of that is during this last few months. So go and give him a look. He might not be to your taste, but he might be, and you might well learn something great off him. Who knows? So, Matthew Scott, Josh Smith, Kirk Fletcher, Gerry Landreth, Tom Bukovac. If I could pick 5 guys to go and learn something from and watch right now, it would be them. There are other people I want to talk about, but maybe if this video gets more than, let's say, 200 views, then I will come back and do a few more. But anyway, go and check these guys out, give them a subscribe, and I hope that it was worthwhile. But anyway, if you like this sort of content or more gear reviews, guitar reviews, Kemper profiles, amp reviews, whatever, then please subscribe to my channel and hopefully see you on the next one. Give this video a thumbs up. Cheers.